What is going on in here? Trying to hit that rear delt, man. That's not how you hit your... What is up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button on the bottom. Today we're going to be going over 3 different exercises that you can use to develop your rear delt. Your rear delt is a small muscle group, so it's not something that you need to necessarily have a whole rear delt day for. I don't think anybody does a whole rear delt day, but I'm going to give you 3 different exercises that you can use and add them into your shoulder day. Pick 1 or 2 of them and add it in there, and you should be perfectly fine for your rear delt. Anyway, let's get into it. First exercise we're gonna go over is the rear delt row. So you're obviously gonna be in a rowing position, which is an RDL-like position. So you wanna make sure with this one, everything is going to be geared towards your elbow position. It's really easy to turn this exercise into a back exercise because you're in the same position that you would be if you're doing the dumbbell row with 2 dumbbells. So first thing you wanna make sure that you're doing with this exercise is getting in a row form. So that is poking your butt outwards, having a straight back, making sure you have a tall chest and a slight bend in your knees. After that, you want to make sure that your elbow position is not pointed inward like this, but is more pointed towards the outside. That way you can hit your rear delt instead of your back. So once you get that position, you want to make sure that you're pulling up with a really nice and slow tempo. Second exercise we're going over is the side raise using the bench. Remember, guys, the rear delt is a small muscle group. It's just a piece of your shoulder. Don't overcomplicate these movements. Don't overload these movements, and don't do too much with them. You just need to add a couple of them into your shoulder day. 1 or 2 is fine. You don't need a whole rear delt day. I don't think anybody does that. Remember that. All right, so the second exercise we're gonna go over is this lateral raise. So with the lateral raise, the only thing that is different than the regular lateral raise is you're literally have your body on an angle. So what the angle is gonna do is gonna help you pull the weight upward with your rear delt more than it would with the front parts of your shoulders. Like I said, with the first exercise we went over, that bent over row position can be complicated for a lot of people to get into. So to modify that, we can always use the bench. So you can use that pull movement that we went over in the first exercise, or you can use this second movement that we're going over, this lateral raise at this angle. You might find that it works better for you. I honestly find that it works a lot better for me when I use the bench better than the bent over position. You're not trying to stabilize your body the whole time while you're trying to find that little small muscle group, that small place where you pull from to pull the dumbbell up to really feel the tension in the muscle group. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna get this bench, you're gonna put it on an angle somewhere between the 30 and 45 degree angle. You wanna make sure that just like any other side raise, your elbow is not straight outwards and you got and you had that slight bend in your elbow. So when you're going up, you just wanna have a really good intensity. You don't need to use a lot of weight to do this. You just wanna make sure you have a good tempo moving upward, maybe even a slight pause at the top, and then a good intensity moving downward. And that should work your rear delt really nicely using this exercise from this angle. Third exercise is the cable rear delt fly. Now the thing with these rear delt fly exercises, as you saw, we can do them on the bench with the dumbbells. We can also do them here on the cables to hit the high, mid, and low level. But if you wanted to, you can also use the chest fly machine to do these exercises as well. You just need to sit in the seat in the opposite direction, then you grab the handles, and then you fly backwards. So you could pick any of these really to use. Obviously, using it on the fly machine is only gonna allow you to hit it from that mid-level. Here on the cables, we're gonna hit it from the higher level, but you can also bend over and do it at the lower level as well. In my opinion, I feel like the rear delt fly using the cables in the cross position with both of them at the same time hits my rear delt the most, but I'll let you decide which one you want to use. So to perform this exercise, you wanna make sure that you obviously are on the cable machine at the highest position. Once you're at the highest position, you wanna cross your hands and grab those cables, and then you want to pull backwards using your rear delt. Now, to make sure that you're using your rear delt, you have to make sure that your elbow position does not change. If your elbow position changes, you're gonna turn this into a tricep exercise or some type of tricep rear delt kind of rowing thingy at the end. It's not really gonna hit your rear delt. You're gonna completely miss the movement. So Make sure that your elbow position stays the same without it. You also want to make sure you're using a light weight with a solid tempo. Once again, these are smaller muscle groups, so you don't need to use a lot of weight. You just need to make sure you have a good tempo with proper form and the right intensity. That is it for rear delt exercises. Remember, we went over a couple dumbbell exercises. We went over a couple alternative ways to use the fly and the cable, and also in the pec deck machine. We also went through a rear delt row. You only need to use 1 or 2 of these exercises and add them into your shoulder day. Don't drop me in my comments and say 4 exercises for rear delt, that's correct. I didn't say that. And then you go back, rewind the film, I never said that. Just use 1 or 2 exercises, put it in your shoulder day. But do leave me a comment. Let me know how you like the video and any other videos that you'd like to see me do in the future. Make sure you hit that notification bell.